This is absolutely broken. And the people who did it before literally just put staples across. What were they thinking? I am going to take those staples out and I'm going to squidge some glue in. They put like a big nail thing there. And I am going to see if I can get that out and clean that up a bit. See if I can snip that off. I'm going to take these staples out. I'm going to put glue on the back side here where it attaches to the arm, like that. And then I'm going to put glue all the way down here, and I'm hoping I can attach it here. Oh, it doesn't go on the back. Why isn't that going in? Oh, there's a nail there. So I'm just going to ease that into place, like that. I think various bits of wood have fallen out over the years. I do need it over that down. I've squeezed this clamp into position. For now, it seems to have pushed some of the glue out, so that means there's contact. And I'm going to have to see if I can actually drill and put a couple of screws through, but I will drill the holes first, not just screw into it, otherwise I'll split the wood. So my 3-inch screw goes down that way, and I've got another one going up that way, and this should be held on solidly. Why somebody didn't do that initially, I have no clue. Bring the foam right into this corner here where it tucks under. I'm going to secure this one under here like this, and then I'm going to ease it around, and as I ease it around I'm going to put more staples in like that just to hold it, and then on down and around. As I get to the bottom here, I'm going to cut about 1 inch in like that, and the rest of the way up, just a little square out. That is going to go in there, and the rest of it is going to go under the arm. And it might be a little bit short, but that's fine because I'm going to have extra stuffing on there anyway. Fill in that space. Smooth any lumps and bumps out. I need to cover this. I'm going to line it with the inside arm and attach. I'm not going to cut it too close to anything, I'm just giving it a rough shape. You can feel at the back where it curves. Go around there and there. That'll do. I want to match this outside arm to the rest of the chair. If we look at the bottom here, here's this pattern and here's its matching pattern. So if I hold that there, straighten all the fabric out, and that goes all the way around to the here, which is where I need it, and then that should match up on the other side too. And now I've got a pair of matching arms. I'm going to make it a little bit longer. I'm going to mark it to here, so as you can see, here's the pattern match to there, and then I've allowed myself a little bit extra. Now I need that because when it comes through here, it's got to be attached on the side here. I am going to cut from this pattern here to this one here in as straight a line as I can, and when I get there, and straighten it out and aim towards the next one, and I'm just going to repeat it. Now it might not be in a totally straight line, but it'll be straight enough. I haven't pulled this all the way across. It goes all the way around and into the top. It's a bit tight. What I'm going to have to do is attach a bit of fabric to the back so that it's long enough to go all the way back in one piece. Here's the pattern repeat. If I put that straight up, straight down, that will cover to there, and that will be my front border. I'm going to cut on the outside of here on up. I'm going to have to do these separately because it is a pattern match and I want it to be as accurate as possible. So there's my top and straight across. So I'll work out where the pattern match is on the other side in a minute. Now before I finish securing this down, I'm just going to pull this Dacron all the way around and tight. Work your way all the way around. Cut back a little bit so that I'm in line with the wood. The wood is where it's firmest, and then I'm going to just put staples in just to hold it against here. Pull it in real tight. Don't fold it, just pleat it where you need it to be. Smooth the fabric over the arm as best you can because you really don't know where it's all going to go in. There's a couple of things you need to think about. This is the piece I'm going to put on the front. I'm going to pin it at the top so it doesn't keep falling down. That drives me nuts. While I decide where it goes at the bottom. I'm just going to pop this in line here. So that will just come down a little bit like that. I'm going to pin that into place here, upwards so it can't move. And see this piece going over here, which is about there. So I'm also going to mark that one too. Now I'm going to make sure that the threads run horizontal. Pop it in there and another one a little bit higher. Now I'm just going to smooth that out and up to the top and pinning that again so it's nice and smooth here. Pull that forward like that so we can actually see what's going on in here. I'm now going to match all of this up as well as I can. If we start down here, we've got this piece here, which is this piece here, so I need to bring all of that down so that reaches forward as well. We've got that piece here and it matches with this piece here, so I'm going to pull that a little bit further around so that it matches on the back there. Some fabrics you can do that with. Put a pin here and it comes around the corner, which means that that comes in here. This will also come into place, so I'll pop that in there for now. Having got that in, I'm just going to tuck this fabric into place along here so it can't move anymore. This band has to be more or less equidistant all the way along the outside of the chair. This one matches up, so I'm going to match that one up and that. That's why you need to keep this in line, and slowly this will pull in, but that just has to be level there. I'm going to just carry on pinning it into place as tight as I can. I am also going to pop a pin on this side up here so that it doesn't cause the fabric to walk too much, because I don't want that going out of shape. So continually alter where everything goes. Here's the side of the chair as it comes down, and I'm going to pull this in as tight as I can under there. I'm trying to keep this piece of fabric here equal to the edge of the chair like that, and I'm going to put a staple in to hold it so it doesn't move, because when I pull the arm in later I'm going to be pulling it as tight as I can, so I want this to be as secure as possible. The side of the arm is here and the piece of wood runs there. I'm going to put my fingers across the front of the wood as close as possible, and I'm pulling this into it. As you can see, it kind of rounds around, and that's okay. Pin that along the bottom edge of the arm. Now this might change as I get on round to the top. Pull this top piece down to the top of the wood here and then secure this in place. And then I'm going to slowly work my way around. On the other side I have a pleat around about here, so I'm going to put the pleat in. That's the other thing, match your pieces up. I've got another pleat going in around about here, so I'm going to put that pleat in too. I always find this side is the worst side. I've got a good side and a bad side. I'm also going to start cutting back a little bit, not too much. I'm going to give myself a good generous inch at the moment. You can see how the shaping will come in. Another pin across the front here. Make sure that's level. So I've got two going in here. And while I'm on this side, I'm just going to cut in like that to this corner, but not too close. Pull that out so it's even. I've still got a good ½ inch distance there. Pop that into here so it's flat. Pull this on round into place and pin. Pull it into the corner. Pull that in. I think I need to bring it up that way. I'll check on the other side. Check both sides are as similar as you can possibly get them, but do not rely on both sides of your chair to be equal, especially if it's an old chair. Along here, I think I want to alter that. I'll take those two pins out like that. Try to get the angles right on them as well. As I come around the side, I'm going to fold this down, and a pleat naturally forms here, so I'm going to pop that one in there, following the top of the piece of wood. Pull that in and flat. Now these pleats I might alter again. They often need to go in 2 or 3 times. It actually looks like I've got another pleat going in around about here, so I'm going to measure. It's not really how you measure, but anyway. And it comes down in. I'm going to just find the top of the wood here and pop it in line with that again, or as close to like that, because then I'm pulling the fabric down into place. Come on round here, and I have another pleat coming in here like that. Find the piece of wood there, which is there, and pop that in too. Hopefully this is giving me a smooth rounded look on the inside here. It's a little bit wrinkly and crinkly there. Another one coming in here. Fold that in, find the piece of wood with one finger and then pin it with the other. And there should be one more coming in here, which I'll put in. Just going to continue cutting this around and around like that. Once that's all in, I can see if anything needs to be pulled in, let out. Should give it a ½ inch seam allowance from the pins. Makes life a lot easier. as the pin mark is where my sew line is. They look about even with all the markings, so I think I'm happy with that. A little bit of a tweak there, but not much. And here you'll see this, if I fold that over, that matches. So that's the litmus test. If that folds over to there and matches, I'll do the same on the other side just to make sure that it matches at least up to level with here.